Hey guys, it's Kavork and Jack here from Major League Crypto. Thank you for joining us.
We're going to be going over 6 coins today. They are Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, Syscoin, which was one of your favorites, and then the final one we're going to be going over is Lumen. So we'll start off. Do you want to start off talking about your favorite coin of the week?
Oh, that from last week?
Yeah. We'll review last week's calls.
Sure. So basically, last week what I picked was, if Aaron, if you could pull it up, is VeChain. VeChain it's supposed to combat counterfeit items and stuff like that, and they actually made a huge deal the other day. So basically, they partner up with Healthcare Co. Limited. Basically, what this happens is now they're going to put RFID chips into items, and basically through VeChain, it's going to run and compare itself to the blockchain. And basically, it'll say, okay, this is a real item, or it's not going to be a real item. And this could be applied to a lot of different areas. So when I heard about this, I'm like, wow, this is going to be huge. And this company apparently works with Manchester United.
Okay, so you also said this guy worked for Louis Vuitton as well,
yeah,
right?
So if we go to LinkedIn, the guy's name is Sunny Liu. CEO of VeChain, Shanghai City, China, computer networking. If you look at his resume, he was the CIO, IS&T director of Louis Vuitton China. He worked there from June 2014 and November 2015. So basically, he's got experience and probably connections in these industries. So it's not just technology, but it's also retail. And if you go onto the VeChain website, you can actually see all of these categories on their website. So basically, it's anti-counterfeit. Anti-counterfeit could be implemented to any industry on the planet.
Well, that makes it really interesting to me. Obviously, this guy comes from a luxury brand, Louis Vuitton, which is also
Bacardi China.
Yeah. What else did he?
Bacardi China. He was an IT manager for Bacardi China.
Bacardi, the alcohol drink?
Yeah. So basically, that's why they're doing with the wine, because now they have wine bottles that have QR codes on them, and you scan it in China, and it'll tell you what type of grape it is, when it was bottled, all this type of stuff, and that's being run through VeChain.
Wow.
So yeah, what VeChain basically does, and why it interests me, a lot of people complain, hey, look, these coins are not used in the real world. It's kind of more like
pure monetary speculation.
It's like vaporware, It's like the potential's there, but it's not being utilized. But with VeChain, they're actually making some moves. And there are rumors, Sunny Liu talking about Renault, the car brand in Europe, and a lot of these other entities that we don't know about. But apparently January is supposed to be a big month because they have the Thor Power master nodes firing, and also they're going through like a rebranding phase. So every time a coin goes through this rebranding phase, right? For me, it says that good things are coming because they're going from like a geeky like project to actually try and make it marketable for people. So when this happened with Verge, for example, when I was talking about Verge originally with the Keen discussion, they were still in their old like kind of like styling and stuff, and they're starting to upgrade. And once you see those things, are like, okay, the hype is building. And with VeChain, it's not even on Bitrex yet; it's only on Binance.
Wow.
So for me, it's bullish because of that reason.
Okay, so it's on Binance. It's not on.
It's on Bitrex.
It's not on Bitrex.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's really, I mean, just from the whole perspective of the counterfeit, because I think counterfeiting is like an economic loss of at least $50 billion a year for the United States. I mean, luxury brands is something, it seems like they would all jump aboard. I mean, I can't tell the difference between a fake Louis Vuitton purse. Maybe some of you viewers can, especially you ladies out there. But I mean, I think that's actually like probably one of the better uses of blockchain technology that I've seen that's completely unique. And then what was the move in VeChain this week? Just so you guys understand, like behind the theory of these coins and behind the economic models, like what are the price fluctuations? He's going to pull it up right here, but I think it had like at least a 50% week, didn't you?
Yeah, so let me see here. I'm pulling it up right now.
And for those of you who are watching here on our live stream on Instagram, I cannot see your comments because it's too far away. I could probably put on my glasses. But you can go to majorleaguecrypto.com. And if you go to go to YouTube/Major League Crypto, and you can watch us on YouTube. And I can see your comments if you do it that way. So
in a week, it went from around a $2 range $1.80, and now it's up to like 340.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was in that.
And that's in a week.
Yeah, that's a 7-day period on CoinMarketCap. It's always a little bit different, but majority of the volume is traded on Binance, I believe. Let's see where the market is. The pairs are Ven BTC, Ven ETH. Yeah, it's mostly on Binance, and Huobi is right behind it, which is expected. Wow. So yeah, VeChain right now I'm still bullish on. It's got a long way to go. There's some.
And where are you using to pull a chart from that? Are you using Binance?
Binance, yeah, okay. Yeah. Binance, they're kind of like they have their own kind of charting mechanism. I don't know. It's not like how BitREX uses, kind of like the trading view one.
Yeah, I saw that. I think Binance calculated back to it was one of the platforms that calculated. I might not be able to sign in, however, because my 2FA is on my phone. So I can't sign into my Binance account right now. All right.
Yeah, so basically just these partnerships are happening. Apparently January there's a lot more partnerships coming. I don't know what it is. Sonny Liu, the CEO, had like an AMA type thing the other day, and he was talking about it. They were trying to ask him what partnerships there were. He couldn't really confirm anything, but a lot of stuff's happening in January. That's why I was bullish on, like, I want to get in before, you know, like before it actually pops, you know, like a lot of people just hop on and ride the wave, but if you see these things happening, if you do your research, then you could kind of ride the wave before it happens, and that's when you get your major gains.
Okay. Wow. So that was your pick of the week last week, right?
So that was 2 weeks in a row, actually. So
2 weeks in a row, pick of the week up. What was that? Roughly
1.2 2 weeks ago, actually, there was a low of $1.20. So if you copped at $1.20, now it's at $3.50 roughly.
Woo! Yeah. Double your money. That's pretty crazy. And then I just want to go over. We can switch back to my screen. My pick of the week was Ripple. And we've really kind of gotten up. Actually, my target was like 287. So we're at 285 right now. Wow. So, I mean, we're right about there. But, you know, and these are just, you know, crypto's unlike anything I've ever traded. It typically blows well past profit targets. But that's always good to at least peel off some of your position and rotate into the next possible coin that you want to speculate on. But in this case, I'll show you and explain to you how I'm getting that Ripple target, which we are hitting literally as I speak. So it's actually kind of cool to go back a week ago and see that we're right at the target as we speak here. But pretty much what I'm doing is there was a major low on the 22nd here, and this is an hourly chart. So each one of these candlesticks represents an hour of time. There was a major low on the 22nd of December, and then we ran all the way up into the 240 level, which was the 30th. Okay, then we pulled back into this 50% retracement on New Year's Eve, which was the 31st, and then I'm using that low to high, dividing that number by 2, which gave us our 50% retracement support at 162, and then I'm projecting the price target using a mathematical calculation to come up with that 287 number. So that's a little bit more maybe sophisticated than some of you traders are used to, but you can't, you know, you have to have some kind of mechanism for entries and exits, and this just so happens to be my Fibonacci method that I teach over at Major League Trading. But yeah, so we're right at this level. If we do continue up and can stay above this 260 level, so if we hold above 260 here in Ripple, my next profit target above is going to be 352. And if we get up to 352 outside of an announcement from possibly Coinbase that Ripple's coming to Coinbase, which has been the speculation that we've had for a while that Ripple is going to be brought onto Coinbase. You know, I think 350 would be the next upper level, but regardless, this 287 level is for me at least a profit taking spot. I'm not a hodler. You know, some of you guys might be. I'm not telling you what to do with your own money, but these are just ways I come up with calculations.
So basically, if you're in Ripple, like for example, right, I got in Ripple at $1.90. I made that move. I saw $1.90. I'm like, all right, this is gonna go up. I knew that the Coinbase announcement might happen. So if it breaks above that, was it 250 or 238 level?
So 287 is the current target. If we stay up at this 287 though and hold above 260, we should continue straight up probably into 350.
Okay, yeah, because I was thinking that actually because it's been kind of like pushing up in these certain levels like you were trying to say with your Fibonacci and how you do it. Okay, that's really interesting.
Yeah, so I mean these are just price projections. So what that move is all the way up to so if you take the low here from that 20 seconds to that high, the 100% of that move is I can't do the math in my head, but pretty much you're projecting 61% of that move into a new high. So if the whole move is $1, say, I'm just example of math, if the whole move is $1, you're projecting that it's going to go 61 cents above that high.
So like, especially with the news right now, like you would think like an announcement from Coinbase would make it go up even a lot higher.
Straight up. And what you will see, even if we don't end up topping out at these levels, there is computer programs that align themselves with these sequences, and it happens in pretty much every market that I trade. You know, you can already see that on it's called the first touch. So when we touch a level, you'll see selling pressure off of that, which is just people taking profit. And so when we run into these levels, you'll notice like a couple of bars, candlesticks will close right at that level. And all that is traders who are looking at, and algorithms that are looking at this sequence taking profit. We very well could go completely through these profit target levels, but it's just a method that I've developed for myself for trading. And I'll talk about, we can go into Bitcoin next because that also pulled back into a fib level, which I actually texted my friend. I said, hey, Bitcoin just hit 18,000. That was a profit target. I think it's going to pull back to 13 from here. We hit 18,000. We pulled back to 13,000 in like less than 2 weeks. So, and I'll show you guys how after we go over some news events, I'll let Kevork take care of that and give your speculation on Bitcoin, and then I'll move into that Bitcoin chart.
Okay, yeah. So basically the big news was Bitcoin rises after a report says early Facebook investor Peter Thiel is buying massive amounts.
So if nobody's ever heard of Peter Thiel was, first of all, he was one of the co-founders of PayPal with Elon Musk. And then he was I think he was actually the first investor. I think he bought 10% of Facebook for, I want to say, $500,000. So he had 10% of Facebook for $500,000, and he made billions of dollars off that $500,000 investment. Yep. So he is, you know, one of those guys that's been on the right side of more than a few trades. Facebook, PayPal, now Bitcoin, which he actually originally I think he had a larger stake. I don't know from what price, but he had just recently announced that he had bought another $20 million with his venture capital fund in Bitcoin. But Peter Thiel, interesting character. He's also, like totally off topic, but he's also he funded Hulk Hogan's lawsuit against Gawker, which successfully shut down that news website.
I mean, is it shut down or?
They bankrupted
they sold it, but yeah, I think it got sold to a different entity.
Yeah, they bankrupted him. He won like a $250 million judgment against the Hulk Hogan. That just goes to show you don't mess with ex-wrestlers.
Well, yeah, a lot of people are trying to count out Bitcoin. Yeah, tech-wise, it's slow, it's not good, but it's been around the longest. It's survived everything so far. It survived Mt. Gox when that originally happened. It survived everything so far. It's gonna keep losing market cap. I keep saying, but Bitcoin right now, this is like, we don't know if it's going to make it.
So when you're referring to market cap, you're referring to total percentage of the crypto space market cap. See,
exactly. So let's go to coin market cap, for example. I want to see where it's at right now. So, because it kept dropping for last time I checked. So right now we're at 34.3. We
should keep that up on the billboard. 34.3. Keep track of how it, because I don't remember what we were at last week.
We were like at 44%, I believe, last week. So since we started, it's dropped like 20%, if not more. I think it was at 64 at 1.2. So it's dropping down like crazy because these old coins are just skyrocketing. Now I think Bitcoin, there's too many big people that are in it, and they're gonna keep pumping it. I think they're gonna pump it into Bitcoin because it's still like
you said, it's gold 2.0. It's the one that everybody knows. It's the one, unless you're paying attention to crypto and watching the Major League Crypto live stream every week, you don't even know that these other altcoins exist. So if you think about your average investor who, you know, people like maybe our parents or institutional investors, they're really only aware of these major coins that are published in Chicago Tribune, New York Times. Nobody's talking about Cardano. Nobody's talking about Syscoin. Nobody's talking about Lumen. Ripple is starting to get actually a ton of press coverage, and I actually think this year that Ripple has a larger market cap than Bitcoin at some point. because the way the press coverage is going. I know you disagree with me,
No,
but
I like it's gonna keep going up. I still think easily it'll hit $6. I don't see anything stopping.
I wonder
from
what the actual
honestly.
market cap would be at $6. So Ripple, if the market cap's 127 billion right now, and it's up 32% in the last day, which is insane. So pretty much $6 would almost be a 100% increase from here. It's trading 329, so a little under that. So that would make the total market cap currently, if it doubled from here, that would be 660, and that would have a larger total market cap than Bitcoin if it doubles from here.
Well, no, it could happen because right now our overall market cap is 745 billion. I could easily see the cryptocurrency market space within 4 or 5 months be at 1.5 trillion.
And I read today, or it was yesterday, that the one of the founders of Ripple, who holds a large amount of coins, has a paper net worth. Obviously, it's not real money until you cash out, apparently, but $39 billion, making him one of the 20 richest people in the world.
Aaron, by the way, I see your comment. We're talking about $3.50 for Ripple, not 0.035 ETH. Yeah, so... But yeah, Ripple, I could easily see going up there now. Especially it's going to be adopted by a lot of different companies. Down the line, it might not survive, but right now, I'm pretty bullish on it. It's broken through everything, and I don't know if it'll overtake Bitcoin. Bitcoin will fight back because it's still the king, and the king will always fight for like its top spot.
Yeah, but I mean, I always look at it from like the media play, because people are seeing like how many articles have we come across in the last month that's talking about how much faster Ripple is and how Ripple's like integrating with the banks and how much, to me, that is the money from Bitcoin. I mean, people sooner or later, I think the current Bitcoin high is in for a bit. And you really, I mean, when it comes to these types of markets, you really want to be focusing on breakouts. You don't want, you can buy dips and hold, but the quick gains come from when we are taking out highs. And right now that Bitcoin high up at 20,000 or, roughly $20,000, just under there at 19,000. Until we get through that high, I mean, that is going to be.
I think Bitcoin will kind of, the next swing up, I think it's going to hit 23. That's my number. I think it's going to hit 23. It might chill around 23, 24. I don't know if it'll break that at that moment, but I think that's like the next high that we're going to see in Bitcoin. But the next down from that might be like 18K or 17K. We might just come right back down too. Because what's going to happen is, the way I'm seeing how things are moving cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, even though like Coinbase is going to add more coins, it's flooding more Bitcoin in the system. It's building up Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin kind of flushes out, and all that money floods into altcoins, and it just keeps cycling that over and over and over again. And every time it happens, it becomes stronger for altcoins, and it keeps. So if you see that rhythm and you can play with that rhythm, right now Bitcoin's down, and if VeChain keeps going up to the level that I want it to, and I could pull out, I might just hold Bitcoin for a week or two.
Yeah, I think,
ride that up to 23. Because that $23,000, that 23 target is, if that swings, it's gonna happen like in 4 or 5 days.
Oh, yeah.
It's not going to happen like over a course of like 2-3 weeks. It's going to be sudden.
So if you go to my chart here, and just kind of, once again, going back to that whole breakout theory. So if you look at this last high we had that like completely broke out, it was right, if you guys remember, coming out of pretty much the Thanksgiving roundtable discussion where everybody went home and talked to their nephew who bought Bitcoin when it was $3 and is now worth $1 million, and nobody knows how this kid got rich because he's 21. So coming out of that Thanksgiving roundtable discussion, literally Bitcoin started breaking out the day after Thanksgiving, and you can see the price action when we take out these highs. Look how fast the acceleration of price becomes. This is just standard trading, and that's why I'm saying that. Yeah, I mean, I think Bitcoin's going to 23,000 as well, but when you want to talk about your time value of money, which is the amount of time you spend in a certain asset and what it returns, the time value of Bitcoin and the exponential gains are going to be on that next breakout through 20,000. Because in the meantime, we could be stuck inside of this range for I have no idea how long. The fast money is made when we go through highs. In this example, in this breakout through highs, when we got through that high, that price acceleration from 7,000 to 19,000 happened in under a month. I mean, it was pretty much just under 20 trading days.
Sure,
so I guess
that's why if you like know what you're doing and like you research, you could like understand these patterns and work between altcoins and bigger coins and see, because everyone's trading style is a little bit different, you know, like obviously. But if you start seeing this in like the meta way and seeing how cryptocurrencies move, I'm talking about the actual when the market cap and when funds go into like the market cap, where is it going and how is it moving? If you understand that, then you could see that, all right, these class of coins might go up. What has been going up recently too? Those marijuana coins, dope coin, hemp coin, pot coin. Yeah, I'm all those, right? Those have been moving. Those have been moving. Why is that also? Because of California and Canada, you know, it's because those Canada marijuana stocks are going up.
Do you know if any of those are chartable here on TradingView?
Probably. Potcoin's probably the biggest one with cannabis.
Potcoin.
Yeah, there you go.
USD calculated by Potcoin. I mean, this coin, that's a pretty shaky looking chart.
I mean, but at the same time too, it's like how many Potcoins can you have? You know, like
a lot of potheads. So
yeah, I mean, marijuana is going to keep becoming bigger and bigger, but I don't think there'll be as need for a token for it or a coin as it becomes more legalized, or there might be, you know. Maybe there's a way that there could be like a V chain for marijuana that could actually list like all the different types of strains and stuff. That's where I could see that being implemented more than using it as like a currency.
See, I lost my chart here. BTC. Took away my savings. All right, so right now, resistance in Bitcoin's 16,000, supports at 13,000. And the breakout level is really when we start trading back above 19,000. Until then, to me, this is a range trade. There's better opportunities out there. If you're holding it, it's a great hold. To me, it's not a buy here.
It's not a buy.
It's not a buy.
It would. At what price do you think it would have to dip down?
It would be a buy to me at 13,000 on a dip buy or a breakout above 19,000. Until then, I mean, that move from right now 15 to 19,000. You know, what would that be? Roughly like 20%. So to me, you know, when you got coins going up 50% a day and like literally there's going to be a ton of resistance at 19,000, because you got to remember that's a psychological level, because everybody who had, you know, say you had 100 Bitcoins and it went up to 19,000, in your head, you were like, oh, I'm worth, you know, $20 million or whatever it is. And when it gets back to that level, you know, that's just trading 101. People are going to sell. And when it gets through that, I mean, if you look at every single one of the, I mean, if you look at Ripple, every single time we break out of these highs, that's when the money just comes pounding in. You know, like, look, we come to that high, we rest. As soon as we break out, quick 50-cent pop. That's the time value. That's the trade you want to be taking. You know, you can speculate in here and you can buy the dips, but when we're getting towards these highs and we're getting these breakouts, that's what you want to get. That's where you want to be buying. And then we just had that in Ethereum as well. We can go to Ethereum for the next coin here. I am long Ethereum right now. My target is 1040. So I actually have limits.
Yeah,
out
always
there to
always like around this $1,000 level is always psychologically that's very important for anything, in my opinion. That $1,000, you know, so the 1040 does make sense. Ethereum still got a lot of trouble. A lot of people will flack me for it. I still believe in the project. I still think it's good, but it has a lot of stuff to overcome and it's getting a lot of competition. I see someone in the chat is saying Particle. Yeah, like Particle, Neo. Neo is not trying to compete as much, but I think Stratus is gonna come for its spot too. Definitely, because it's starting to tokenize and make ICOs for the Stratus platform, and the tech is just really good. So we'll see what happens. You know, like this is like a work in progress. But yeah, that's basically my views on Ethereum right now. Nothing too big has been going on, just more CryptoKitty stuff.
Yeah, so no new news in Ethereum that you think is pumping the price. I mean, do you think this is just a technical breakout? I mean, we had a wedge formation on this chart.
I mean, people are just bullish on Ethereum. Ethereum's just one of those coins also that like it just doesn't matter. It's still going to be like a top 3 coin, you know, until some major technical issues happen. because Ethereum Classic has been trying to make a move up too, and Ubique, which are both variants of Ethereum. So Ubique was a hard fork. Ethereum Classic was the original fork before the DAO hack. So right now we're seeing Ethereum kind of like combat itself, kind of like how Bitcoin with Bitcoin Cash is not as severe, not nearly as severe, but we're going to start seeing that more happen in the future as these technologies develop, and Ethereum Classic and Ubique are like, we kind of want our limelight too, Ethereum, what you got.
Ethereum Classic, I mean, what is that at $30?
Yeah. Yeah, it's at.
So it's just not participating in this rally.
Well, it's still It's still ranked 17th on CoinMarketCap for
really.
Yes, I mean, so it's $34 right now. It still went up.
What's the ticker symbol?
It's ETC.
ETC. Okay.
And also, if you want to check out Ubique, which is a fork. UBIQ.
UBIQ. Let's see.
I think it's UBQ is the ticker.
UBIQ dollar. Oh, so once again, I actually like this. This is a chart, in new all-time highs. That's the types of coins I like to trade. Coins that are breaking out. Once again, you see this previous high going back to September at 340. We get above that 340 level, and I'm just going to draw a bar across the screen here. And these are the ones you want to pay attention to. Are we staying above? Where is that? There you are. All right. So are we staying above that, or are we staying below that? You can see first test, and then as soon as we get above that, that becomes a buyable point. That's the time value where you want to be trading. Breakouts above those highs. So I mean, I like UBQ. I mean, it's uptrending here, but it's a little far away from its breakout for me to buy here. But just showing you an example of those types of trading setups you want to be looking for.
Yeah, but we could see also, like, as Ethereum went up, these other coins have gone up. So because they're related. To Mike, he said, how so? Actually, particle encrypted messaging via Ethereum. I don't know. For Ethereum, I just think the strength comes from the ecosystem. Like, there's a lot of good tokens being built on it. It's like always like this reference I always make. It's kind of like Ethereum is the foundation that these other tokens are built upon. So Ethereum might be at $1,000. These tokens.
So these coins are built on Ethereum.
Yeah, they're ERC20 tokens. Basically, they're just tokens coded to work with the Ethereum's platform. So it's using the Ethereum blockchain to do smart contracts.
So when it uses the Ethereum blockchain, how does the Ethereum coin benefit, or how does that network, the Ethereum network, benefit? Is there some kind of fees paid to the Ethereum network? Or is it just...
Yeah, I mean, each coin is just different, so it depends on each coin. But yeah, Ethereum, but it could create hassle too when you have the CryptoKitty stuff and it's slowing down 20% of your transactions because of an unwanted thing. That's where miners come in and say, hey, look, we don't want this. Maybe we want to fork off. And that's what happened with the DAO hack. So when the DAO got hacked 2 summers ago, basically what happened was during this ICO, there's a hack and a lot of people's Ethereum got taken away. So they kind of say, all right, we're going to hit the reset button. But they can only hit the reset button so many times without losing credibility. Yeah. So if that did happen again, I think most people would not.
Yeah, I think, at this point, the adoption stage of coins, I think if any coin were to do that, I mean, it's literally similar to Litecoin with Charlie Lee selling. I mean, look what Litecoin's doing.
I mean, yeah, but like the thing is, Vitalik has not dumped anything. He's been more into it, and Ethereum is adopting the Riding network, which will make it a lot better.
But all I'm saying is, if they did a split, you would have the psychological impact that Charlie Lee has had selling Litecoin. I mean, Litecoin, while the rest of these other altcoins, even Bitcoin, Ethereum, they're all trading higher. I think Litecoin might be one of the few coins that is equal or lower to where we talked about it last week.
Yeah, and do you think that trend is going to continue?
I do. I mean, my only support, I mean, I like I said last week, I do think we retest at 144 level to 160. Right now, the price action is down in Litecoin. It's not something I would be in. If you're a hodler, I mean, obviously you're holding it. But to me, Litecoin, ever since Charlie Leaf sold, it's just like people aren't interested in it anymore, and we continue to make lower lows and lower highs. And until that pattern breaks, it's going to be something I'm going to stay away from.
Yeah, so basically also, let's see what else is in our comments right now. Best time to jump in Ubique. Can't see the number. Did you have that Ubique chart up?
Yes.
Quickly, Jack?
Yep.
Sorry, that
So
was really quick.
UBIC, for me, I would look at the 550, which is just so like when you have so these. I mean, first of all, this daily chart is like extremely messy to me, just because these candle wicks are so wide. Typically, when you have so for those of you who don't understand how a candle wick works with price action, on a green candle, the open is the solid part, the high is where we closed, and then everything in between just ends up plotting as a wick on the graph. So what I like to do is kind of go back to the major areas where there's a lot of consolidation in the bodies of the candles, which you can see the last point of consolidation in the bodies of the candles is this 440 level, which is where we checked down into just only a few days ago on the first of the year. But this 440, 450, that to me is the support level in UBIC as of right now. Now, if we continue to rally up higher into the 850 level, I would adjust that. A more aggressive buy zone would be the most recent consolidation area right here where you can see multiple candle closes and opens, and that is at the 580 level.
Yeah, I think UBIC is going to perform very well too. The way they do mine's a little bit differently, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do, because like these sleeper coins like the UBIC, PIVX, and PIVX and Syscoin, I think they're going to perform very well in the next couple of months. Those family of coins, because I don't know, their development is going very quickly. Like for Syscoin, if you're going to pull that up next, let me see if I got this roadmap.
Syscoin. Yeah, that's your question. I'm new to cryptos. I trade stocks. Where do I go to open an account to trade cryptos? Actually, if you go to majorleaguecrypto.com and enter your email, we give you a login information with a bunch of videos going over some of that basic stuff. So if you haven't already done it, go to majorleaguecrypto.com, enter your name and email, and you'll be provided with a login that'll give you videos to access to begin getting involved in the crypto space. And then also anybody watching who hasn't already done it, please subscribe and like the video you're watching right now on YouTube. It really helps, makes this worth our time to share our information with you. Bittrex is still not open, huh? So last week we tried to open up a Bittrex account.
For some reason, the American exchanges just don't work. Coinbase doesn't work. Bittrex doesn't work. I've had no issue with Binance. And what's hilarious about Binance too, they actually sent out an email saying they're going to shut down. I believe it was actually in a couple hours. They're going to do a 30-minute update. But they just told everyone. How hard was that? How hard is it to do that?
I have to say the Chinese work ethic is a little better than us Americans over here. So.
Well, yeah, and also because Bittrex is in Vegas. So it's part
those
of
guys are like,
the
I was at Encore last night.
So. But the thing is, there's a lot of good coins on Bittrex that is not on Binance, and there's a lot of good coins on Binance that are not on Bittrex.
What are to you like the two biggest coins that are either on Binance and not on Bittrex, or on Bittrex and not on Binance? Off the top of your head, what are the biggest ones that you would, because you want accounts in multiple places, guys, not just one account.
You want to have, my philosophy is you always want infrastructure. You always want multiple avenues just in case. It doesn't hurt to have options. It might hurt if you don't have options. That's like the way I view like this situation. But the best coin right now on Binance, not to be a dead horse, but it's VeChain. VeChain is not on Bittrex yet.
VeChain,
VeChain and I think Tron right now are really good, and ICX, which is Icon. So those three.
We got a question on Tron. What are your thoughts on Tron from my buddy Will? Let me see if I can pull
We talked about it last week. And last week's show, if you look it up, we actually talked about their partnership with I think it's called O-Bike or E-Bike. It's basically a big biking rental company that spanned from East Asia to like Australia and New Zealand.
Wow.
So and they did that, and they're in the what's the main character, the main guy's name that's behind it, something Wu, I believe. But he was doing a lot of different talks, and he's been very active in the community, which is, to me, that's a really good sign. When you're trying to see from a team, you want a team to be very vocal in the community. It's very important.
So Tron is trading at 10 cents you every
I'm just trying to
USD?
figure out the individual's name that was the head of Tron. I forgot the guy's name.
So 10 cents USD. Yeah, I mean, I Tron is just broken out here.
Yeah, it's breaking out big time.
The volume over the last 24 hours is 1.3 billion. It's got a $6.7 billion market cap. I think this circulating supply 65. It's a big number.
Yeah, and I don't think you'll be able to pull up the chart because I think it's only
65
relative to
billion.
Binance, which is not on TradingView.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up on Coin Market Cap. It's not a detailed chart, but I would like this thing up to like 12 to 14 cents.
You
for
think
a
that's
target.
okay? 12, 14, you think?
12 to the 14 cent area. It's hard because I can't pull up a detailed chart. But right now it's on a break. I would definitely be peeling off when we get into 12. I mean, you guys got to realize you're never gonna nail the top. There's no such thing.
Yeah.
So
and the guy's name is Justin Sun. Okay, so he's Forbes Asia 30 under 30, the only millennial student of Jack Ma. Jack Ma, Hupan University. Jack Ma is the guy behind Alibaba.
Okay,
so
TRX.
Basically, it's good. You know, always is social media. People either you don't like it or not. Like this digital world that we're approaching or that we're in currently actually is only going to get more expansive, and there's got to be better platforms and better ways for people to get paid for original content.
So TRX is TRX BTC Tron?
Yeah, Tron is TRX.
Okay, so it is TRX BTC is on tradingview.com for that chart.
Yeah, and you can see it just broke out. You know, it's just it's insane. You know, so hey, Tron's good. I still think it's bullish. I could see it hitting 14 cents.
Okay. 14 cents.
Yeah, I can see it for short
I think
term.
that's
Short to medium term.
The thing is, it's got the momentum with it. Once again, great breakout strategy here. Really, the Tron broke out here on the first of the year. We had a nice bull flag. And then Stacy's saying that Nexus is also broke out of a bull flag. So I do want to take a look at that NXS BTC Nexus Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, to me, this is a lot of overhead supply here. Just be from this move down going back to October and September. But if we could start clearing above that, I mean, I really don't like quoting things in Bitcoin. 0.00025 level. To me, I'd really like to see it break above the Nexus. But to this chart, like when I see this, that's just overhead supply. I don't like overhead supply. I have a Bitcoin question in reference to the CME futures contract as you use the bundle of Bitcoin prices from different exchanges. What is preventing inter-exchange arbitrage to eliminate the price difference? John, the settlements for Bitcoins on other exchanges is extremely slow. It's not instant, settlement like futures. You buy, sell. If the thing is, if you need to move a coin from one exchange to the next, it can take days. So that's keeping the spread anywhere up to like 12%, I think was the average Bitcoin spread between the major exchanges. So, and on top of that, the CME futures contract is cash settled. The biggest arbitrage advantage in the Bitcoin futures would be probably the CBOE to the CBOE to the CME futures contract. Either being long 5 because they're both cash settled. Either being long 5 futures contracts for the CBOE and then short one of the CME because it's a 5-to-1 ratio.
Yeah, so Tron is still bullish in my opinion. Sometimes it just takes a good marketing team too, like just being part of the community and talking. They've been very vocal. Partnerships are happening. Partnerships are coming apparently too in the near future. So a lot of these coins, once again, a lot of these coins that are not doing anything, they're gonna start slowing down, and the coins are actually doing stuff in the real world. Those will accelerate because that's what makes sense too. The
ones that, or even if you can speculate on them being applicable.
Of course, yeah. I mean, Ripple has not have an idea. Ripple's not partnered with anything right now, but it's number 2.
They're partnered up with a lot of banks.
Well, I'm talking about stuff like Amazon. I'm talking about for everyday usage. I'm talking about partners like that, like VeChain. For VeChain, for example, right? Once people get involved in actually buying stuff that actually has VeChain in it, that's the point I'm trying to say. So it's ownership of the token. I'm not talking about interbank stuff. I'm talking about people.
One of the ones I think is interesting from that aspect is there's one my friend Jack told me about. It's called 10x. it's supposed to be like a PayPal crypto.
Well, yeah, 10x. They're currently in East Asia right now. They're based in Singapore. I think they have their stuff working in Western Europe too. It's just they're having problems. I guess it has to do with regulation with the U.S. But once that comes, it's gonna be bullish because people want to spend their money, and I don't know if I'll keep it as BTC relative to their 10x token to use the card. But I will probably be keeping it in probably like Ethereum or something because it's at least a little bit more stable.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's take a look at. Did you want to get through a couple more coins? And I guess we're kind of getting sidetracked with a lot of these questions here, but we will answer them.
Yeah, I mean, one thing we could talk about. You want to pull up Verge's chart real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll just talk about Verge, because it dumped really, really hard after the Wraith protocol debacle.
So they had. You want to go ahead and explain the Wraith protocol?
Yeah. So basically, what happened was with this article on the Merkle. Basically, the implementation is live, but people are just not happy. You know, the hype's gone from the Wraith protocol because it was a little late and they finally launched it and it already dumped by then. So that was like the main thing. People want to FUD Verge. People want to pump Verge. Verge is so polarizing for what I've seen. Out of any coin, it's like Verge, you either like are obsessed with it,
yeah,
or it's like whatever, you know. Because a lot of people are just like on that Monero bandwagon, which they both have decent tech, but now there's rumors that the Verge miners were involved with another hack, which that was a rumor like 2-3 weeks ago.
So explain to those people who don't know, why are Verge and Monero similar?
Because they're privacy coins.
It's privacy.
Yeah,
coins.
so you're anonymous, but they do two different ways. Monero is based, I believe, in a multi-node type of facet, and Verge is Tor I2P based. But yeah, for me, it's like Verge. It's kind of like a wait and see type of thing more than anything, because there's so many like fudders out there. Like for example, like I think I've said this before on the show. I had a buddy, a good friend of mine. He was in which coin was it again? I'm just blanking out right now, but it's really big. I'm just IOTA, of course. I completely forgot about that. But yeah, IOTA. So this is before IOTA blew up, right? So he had IOTA in his wallet, but due to the Tangle network, right? How IOTA is built, there was like a wallet issue. So there was some like rumors about hacks and stuff, and the MIT student getting into it. So he left and it pumped. Then when I was in Verge and I was thinking about getting more into Verge, there was that issue regarding their apparently a parity wallet hack that happened to with Verge, and apparently the Verge miners were behind that hack. So I'm like, all right, I'm out of this. And then it pumped. So like a lot of these news too, it could be completely opposite, and they just want to consolidate more to, you know, get a better position to make more money. A lot of this news could be completely fake at this point too. You know, I don't know what to trust.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, the price action of Verge is not.
I'm just talking about news. I'm talking about like the tech behind it, because the Wraith protocol is here. It is working. It's kind of underwhelming from a lot of people. A lot of people are saying, all right, give it a month, and in a month you'll see the true like power behind Verge. Mm-hmm. That could happen, but for me, Verge is a wait and see from a tech side. But what do you see from a chart side?
From a chart side, same thing. I mean, you know, I think the fundamental, you know, analysis of what's going on. This thing. And granted, I did buy. I was going to sell it at 22, and then the 22 hit over the weekend, and I wasn't paying attention. And I'm in long from actually right around this level. But at this point in time, I'm thinking that this position is I'm going to try to scratch. I'm going to try to get out of it, because this chart, if you look at my screen, anytime you see a market coming down, we make a new low, we come back up, we fail to break above this previous high here. So if you if you just take a horizontal, they call it a horizontal ray. So you see how we break down below. This is support. As soon as we break down below that level, when we move back higher and fail from that level, so failure means like we're not getting above that price action. Those people who had bought long at that level are now, the traders at least, are selling because they know that's going to be a resistance. So really, until Verge gets back above 17 cents, and that's Verge to dollar. So I calculate Verge to dollar because if you calculate Verge to Bitcoin or anything to Bitcoin, the charts are constantly changing because Bitcoin price is not constant. So I chart everything in dollars. It's very hard to chart against Bitcoin. So it really, until we get above 17 cents, I would just take it off your screen.
You know what's hilarious, Jack? I just remembered. I made a Steam account like back in April, and I think they give you like $5 to Steam though, like to start off. I think it's like worth like $300 now.
Are you serious?
Or like $200. It's something ridiculous. But yeah, that's
the
why
Steam coin.
Yeah.
So what is Steam coin? Because I saw
Steam
that
is basically just like a competitor to. It's supposed to be like a Reddit Facebook combination with like a donation system. So the way you upvote with Steam and Steam Power, or I mean Steam dollars. And what it does is it's like you upvote stuff that you want, that you like, and it also pays the content creator. Okay. So they've had a lot of issues. A lot of it's got to do with marketing and basically their UI and stuff. They're doing all right. They're doing a lot better now, but I believe they're trying to work on this thing called Steam Q last time I've heard, which is basically like a Twitter competitor that is completely decentralized and no censorship, which is awesome. Yeah, so that's like that was just a funny, interesting thing because I saw a boom and it's booming now. I'm like, all right, let me just log in because I don't have anything on there, and I'm like, wow, that's kind of cool. Once again, like I didn't use it really, Steam, but it's opening up the infrastructure, and that's part of the philosophy I'm saying. Like even like what was a hurt just like signing up for, especially because like the entire it's all encrypted, and especially with Steam, the account is the wallet. Mm-hmm. So if you forget that master key, it's gone. Your everything that's in your wallet there is completely gone. So it's not just like Facebook that you forget the password and you could hit up customer service. They have no idea.
And it's gone. Yep. Don't forget your password. Don't lose your 2FA.
Yeah. So what else we got here? Yeah, we already talked about Syscoin too. Yeah.
Interesting comment on YouTube.
Yeah, that's funny.
Can you chart request network REQ? And then I'll check REQ. It was at BTC. Can I chart this in USD? Let me see if I can chart this in USD first. No.
Yeah, James. By the way, I saw your comment. Tron upside profits. I said we talked
12
about
to 14.
12 to 14 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now we need to break above this 55 level in the REQ to BTC. Obviously, that's the overhead resistance. To me, this chart is not interesting until we get above that. Guys, the thing is, you really cannot fall in love with coins if you're sitting in losses. There's so much opportunity right now. The biggest thing that's going to separate people from who are going to be pounded out and making money in this market is cutting your losers and holding your winners. Because if a market is trading sideways, forget about it. Because there's so many coins breaking out that you really don't want to be in these markets that are trading sideways. Exactly. Unless you literally just plan on hodling. Like if you're actively trading these, be looking for coins taking out of highs. There's a huge difference between a coin that's taking out of highs and coins that are moving sideways. Right now, REQ is moving sideways, and you can see that by looking at this chart. Previously we had this 4496 level. We break out, we run to highs. We consolidate, then we broke down below the previous support levels here. When we broke down below these previous support levels, this thing's just getting sold into, okay? And until we get above that level, to me, no interest in it. There's the time, we're going to talk about this over and over again, but the time value of your money is better spent in something trending higher than it is in something sideways, because I don't know how long this bull market's going to last.
No, I mean, it's going to last...
Even if it lasts 2 years,
yeah,
if you spend 2 months in a sideways coin.
No, it's not worth it. You might as well take your 10% loss and get out and move into something else. That's my opinion. There's so many coins, and once again, if things pump, right? If something pumped like already like 120%, most likely, I'm talking about most likely, that's where the cap's going to be, like 120%. The next target It's 250%. I'm talking about relative to I'm talking about relative to BTC. When I've seen it, when I've seen it like in Bittrex. I mean, like first, then you have like a 10-15, then you have a 40, then you have an 80, then a 120, then like a 250.
You want to be looking to play the strongest coins every day. I mean, if you want to be active, you want to spend an hour. I mean, this literally could be potentially the largest wealth generating opportunity of our lifetime.
Oh,
and I seriously mean that, because I know more people that turned a couple of grand into 50,000 plus in this than I've ever heard of trading. And I've been trading a long time. It's much harder to trade normal markets than it is to trade these coins, because these returns are 50, 60, 30, 14% a day. That compounded is insane. So these sideways coin movements, and we're going to be talking about it, educating you guys on this stuff over the rest of the year. Stay out of it if it's moving sideways. Get in it if it's breaking out higher.
Yeah, so basically we have first for Aaron Cole, how much do you think that 20% coin burn will affect Tron? We don't know. I mean, from my opinion, it's showing a little bit of weakness from Tron to overestimate, but that might help out with the price because you're literally cutting supply. So it go either way. I still think Tron's early enough that it'll survive. Like if Tron was already like a year old or 2 years old, then that might affect it. But I think it's early enough that it won't be too. It'll be just like a flesh wound, you know. Like it's not gonna be too much. But let's. Kevin says, let's talk ICO, boys. Who can predict a winner? B token. You heard it first. You heard it here first, Jack. Remember this.
I did hear it here first. I never heard of B token.
Me either. Well, the things are so many ICOs, like hundreds and hundreds of ICOs, like a month at this point now. So it's very hard.
Crazy.
I look personally, like for me, we'll be getting to the ICO arena too very soon, and talking about ICOs and stuff like that too. But for right now,
they need good marketing.
The problem is you can look in crypto calendar, like a lot of different type of areas. Yeah, a lot of these different areas, and you can see actually ICO alert to see all the different information about these ICOs. But for me, it's like I'm only one guy at the end of the day, you know. So for me, it's like I filter to see what interesting projects.
Yeah, it's hard. You know what? You really got to pay attention to. I think when coins breach that $1 billion market cap or that $500 million market cap. To me, I'd like to. I don't know of a way, but I'm sure there is one.
Well, Kevin says the Airbnb version of crypto.
Oh,
so that's pretty interesting. Like that's something I would be interested in, because you have to look at projects that. Okay, if I look at another golden competitor for streaming computing power, yeah, I'm like, all right, that's already been done. What tech? I won't even pay attention to that because
it's a knockoff.
I mean, we don't know. The tech could be completely different. It's software. But the point I'm trying to say is, like, I don't have the time to go into
Uber wasn't the first person to come up with ride sharing, right? They only did it better. So
I mean, exactly. So,
but wait till they take out the market cap of the coin that they're trying to take out. I think that's interesting.
But if you're just aware of certain things happening, and then you could get a gist of what's going on. Because when I'm going through these ICOs, I see one, maybe 2-3 weeks later, I see another development. Then I'll look more in depth about that specific ICO. Like there's one I was looking into, which is Apex, which is like a guy like some head people from Alibaba is part of the project. Like literally their top 4 people, like CTO, CEO. They're former like vice level people from Alibaba.
Guys who have made it happen.
Yeah, exactly. So like that intrigued me.
So what coin is that?
Apex. It's a token of Neo. Then you have that they're trying to, if you read their white paper, they're trying to work with the Nexium exchange.
And also, I think it's important to understand is what are these insiders' rules on how much they can sell? You know, because a lot of times like these legitimate companies put limits on their executive selling. So like executives who own, like say like the guy who owns like 39, I think it's 39, I don't know the guy's name, but the guy has like $39 billion worth of Ripple. If he wanted to sell it, he would absolutely destroy Ripple. The thing would go to zero, like literally like that. The market cannot handle that volume. So you have to have, with these ICOs, there has to be limits on the amount that any executive level that holds equity or holds coins can sell at any given time. Otherwise, it'll just drive the price through the ground. And then Kevin, what do you know the ICO data, that B1? I mean, we'll keep a look on it just because you brought it up. Can we chart Cardano?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can bring
also
up Cardano.
chart up both Cardano and XLM to finish.
What's the ticker symbol on TradingView?
ADA.
ADA.
Yeah.
ADA USD. ADA Tether. It's okay. So this, another breakout once again. This is a good looking chart. Love this coin. I mean, to me, there hasn't been this is just I wouldn't even, I can't chart price targets on this. It's just, this is what I would consider a trail market where you just want to be moving your stops up. So like a trail stop is when you pretty much, it would be a mechanism where if we traded below a certain price, you would be out. When we don't have, like there's no major pullbacks here. Wow, that thing just popped as we're talking about it. Probably all you guys buying it, but right now, like you want to just be trailing these candle lows. Like if we get back below 117, I would be out. Just take your gains. But like, you know, in the last hour, this thing is just ripping face. Stay long it. Bring up your stops. There's no end in sight for charts like this. There's no mechanism that I have that to pick a top. Look at that thing pop like that. There's no mechanism to pick a top, or there's no mechanism to pick a top in general, but there's no mechanism to chart a top when the data is just running higher. So the only thing you can do is you can trail hard. Now, if you wanted to loose trail, if we got back below $1, I would be out, but you can, you know, peel some off here. I mean, who knows how high this thing could go, but this is what I'm talking about when you want, these are the kinds of markets you want to be in. You see this previous high, which looks like the ICO going back to the 29th. Did this thing just ICO? Or is that, maybe that's just as long as it's charting data.
token?
No, this ADA, that's been around for a while.
Oh yeah, Cardano, yeah.
Well, for whatever reason, the chart only goes back to the 29th. Let me go to a daily chart. Maybe that's different. Nope, same amount of data. But anyways, for whatever reason, when we got through that high at 107, this thing pops instantly to 140. So that's, you know, you're talking about, that's that 40% return. And guess when that 40% turn happened? In 3 hours. Time value of money. Right there, breaking out of just whatever this chart is highs. I mean, there must be computer programs scanning this stuff, buying breakouts based on the things I'm seeing. Because anytime we break through these highs, this is the kind of chart trades that you want to be in. You got to be looking, you got to be scanning, you got to be aware of where price is relative to its historical value, and then be in those coins that are breaking out. 50 years. Oh, okay, interesting. Pre-sale to accredited investors. Okay, so
yeah, that's pre-ICO. That's pre-ICO.
Okay,
that's for B token. Yeah, that's usually how it is with pre. They usually have different phases of ICO. So for me, 50 Ethereum is a little high for something. It's a good idea, and they got a decent team, it looks like.
I'm laughing at these comments in here that somebody asked, will Ripple ever reach $1,000 this year? Okay, this is definitely important.
If all that global derivative money flows in, then maybe.
Yeah, if Ripple reaches $1,000, I'll eat my own foot. No, exactly how Ooga Booga answered. By the way, great name, Ooga Booga. That'd be a $39 trillion market cap. That's just totally out of the realm. That is literally Star Wars money. We'll be flying spaceships before we see a coin worth $39 trillion. Oh man, that's funny. Any input on the technology and long-term play of anything specifically, or just the long-term technology play? The thing is, this stuff is evolving so fast. If we talk about something 6 months later, it's going to be obsolete.
Not even 6 months. I mean, I swear, I tell people, right? I'm like, yeah, as of right now, this is what's going on. You know, like as of right now, like, but it's like in an hour, a new article could drop, and like literally, because information is so quick, it'll sway everything like the other direction. Yeah, and
that's why it's literally so important. So like, so I bring a trading aspect to the crypto space, and Kevork knows 10 times, 20 times more about crypto than I probably ever will, because his knowledge will increase just as fast as mine, and I'll always be behind him. But the combination of understanding the crypto space and understanding trading methods and psychology is what we plan on offering at Major League Crypto. We want to combine, because those are two very important assets you need to have to be able to successfully do this. And I mean, like I said, I've said this before, I do truly believe the way this market is trading, it is one of the biggest wealth creators and generators of our generation. This is literally equivalent to the 90s bull market in stocks. But the one thing we're going to be aware of, that the rest of everybody else out there who's just super long bullish cryptos and doesn't understand anything about trading, sooner or later there will be a massive bear market. And that's when people will brush off crypto. And honestly, I think you're going to get to the point where all these crypto millionaires start buying homes, houses, really things totally out that they can afford. And then you're going to see the price of their assets drop. They're going to end up going bankrupt. And then you're going to see across the asset classes, depreciation and prices based on that.
I'll be there to buy the dip.
You'll be there to buy the dip, but you'll be cashed out waiting for the dip because the dip might take a long. I mean, that's far off, but just understanding because as long as we're on top of stuff just on a weekly basis, just once a week, staying on top of this stuff. This is a great opportunity for all of us. I'm not competing against you. You're not competing against me. We're here to share information and our ideas throughout this journey because this is just incredible stuff.
Like for me, I could just be trading, and not be doing majorly crypto, right? But for me, it's like building a community is very important. And it's like the amount of information, the way information moves. I'm just one guy at the end of the day, Jack.
Yeah.
And like if we like,
well, we're two guys now.
Now we're two guys.
Two heads are better than one.
Exactly. So yeah, and with that, we're building something special here.
But yeah, if you guys didn't already, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and give me a thumbs up on this video. It really helps. We are here every single Wednesday, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And then what is that? It's 5 o'clock California. You guys in California, I'm jealous of your weather because it is freezing in Chicago.
It's cold in Chicago.
We'll take a couple of more questions, and that's going to wrap up this week's hour. So I appreciate that. If you're interested in signing up for our emails, visit majorleaguecrypto.com, and we have a couple of basic videos you can watch and learn about some of the stuff we teach here. But we do this live stream every week, and then couple of questions left. So can you chart Lumen, Stellar, Lunar, XLM? Yeah, we were actually going to go over that. So Stellar, once again, this is one of those charts where you'd want to be trailing up. We really shouldn't get back below 79 here. I would just be, I think, excuse me, that dollar level, big psychological level, this thing continues to just rip higher. What you want to do, and I'll show you like the way like a method like this would work is, so when we take out a high, we get above that high, right? And then we kind of take it, and then the next time we put in another high, I'm just going to give you guys a little trading expertise. So you just mark that high up, and then you can see we consolidate, we get back above, we retest it, we break out. Then we put in, guess what? Another high. So on and so forth. Okay, and then the most recent high that we've taken out here, and this is a trail method. This is the most recent high that we've taken out here. We should not get back below these levels. If we start breaking below this 77 level, you want to be peeling off your position because this trend will be quote unquote broken. Doesn't mean it's not going to continue to go up higher, but the current momentum. So this is all momentum trading. When there is a wave, because you have to understand things don't double in value in a week unless there's like some reason for it. And right now there's really there's rumors and stuff, but when that momentum ends.
Well, Stellar is just riding off the momentum off Ripple. They're kind of paired in that way. So a lot of people, like every time Ripple goes up, Stellar is kind of right there, right behind it.
Yeah, so whatever the reason is, there's buyers in the market. I mean, we can speculate on we can say it's this news event, it's that news event. It doesn't really matter. What matters is when you run out of buyers, all of a sudden everybody long becomes a seller because they see every time they open up their Binance, Ripple, GDAX, you name it, they open up their accounts and they see that price going lower, they begin to sell with it. So when price breaks significant levels, just peel off your position and begin to look for the next move. Don't be emotionally attached to specific markets. That will destroy you. You will hold on to a position for 2 months that goes nowhere when we have coins that are literally doubling in 3 days. Focus on that stuff. And I will leave it at that.
I want to say one more thing, right? Also, when you guys are looking at these coins, it's just like a RAM thing, but just remember, if you see advisors, when you go down to the team of each coin that you're looking at, each crypto, sometimes they'll put Vitalik as an advisor. This has been going on for a while. Some coins got exposed for and they took it off, but they put Vitalik as an advisor.
Vitalik is the
creator of Ethereum.
Okay.
So like if they're creating a token for Ethereum, they automatically put Vitalik as an advisor because
hilarious.
But even though he's not. So if he doesn't say on his Twitter, then it's most likely not true, and he sometimes exposes them too, which is pretty funny. But just watch out for that when you guys are doing your research.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for your time here tonight. Feel free to share this on your social medias or with any of your buddies who are into crypto. Spread the wealth, spread the knowledge, and we will see you guys next week at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, 8 o'clock New York. And 5 o'clock California, you'll probably be in your sandals. We'll be in our coats.
See you guys next week.